All right, so for today's lesson, we're going to be talking about law of sines. So we talked about sines before in terms of like sine, cosine, and tangent with right triangles. Today, with the law of sines, we're still using the sine function, but we're not necessarily going to be setting it up as like opposite over hypotenuse like we have in the past. That we can only use with right triangles, and here, this law of sines can be used with any type of triangle. So it says, let ABC be any triangle with A, B, and C representing the measures of the sides and opposite angles with measures capital A, capital B, capital C. So if we draw something like this out, we have a triangle. And like I said, it's not necessarily going to be right, but our angle measures are going to be capital letters. So capital A, capital B, capital C. And then the side lanes are going to be A, B, and C too, but lowercase. And they're going to be opposite of those side lanes. So opposite of A, side A is going to be over here. Opposite of B, side B is going to be over here. And opposite of C, lowercase c, is going to be over here. Then our formula that we're going to be using is sine of capital A, or angle, over lowercase a equals sine of capital B over lowercase b, and that's going to equal sine of C over lowercase c. Now, when we're using it, we're only going to be having two fractions equal each other. We're not going to have all three, but technically all three do equal each other. Everything's proportional. So for example 1, it says finding side lengths. So what we want to do for law of sines is we want to make sure we have a matching pair. And what I mean by that is that we have an angle and a side length that both have numbers. So in this case, like here, I have angle Z, and across from angle Z, I have side length Z as well. So that's what I mean by a matching pair. I have angle Z and side Z. So that's going to be my first setup. So I'm going to have sine of that angle 47 equals the side across from it 14 equals, and then I'm going to pick something to solve. So it looks like I have 33 here, and I'm solving for the side x. So let's go ahead and use that. So we say sine of 33 equal over the side of x. Now, once we have two fractions equaling each other like this, we're going to cross multiply. Cross multiply over here, cross multiply over here. When I cross multiply, I'm not going to do 14 times 33. I'm just going to kind of smush them together and do 14 sine 33 equals, and then over here, same thing, I have x sine 47. Now, I want to get the x by itself, so I'm going to get rid of the sine 47 by dividing, because right now it's being multiplied by the x. So divide by sine 47. Then I'm just going to grab my calculator and enter in this left side. So let's grab our Desmos calculator. So I have 14 sine 33 divided by sine 47. Oops, sine 47. Make sure you're still in degree mode, which we are, and we get 10.4. So x equals 10.4. Now that's our x value. I still need my y value. Now technically for the y value, I would need the angle over here, which isn't given to me, but I have 33 and 47. So what I can do is that you can do 180 minus my 33 minus my 47. Let's see what that is. So 180, minus 33 minus 47, and that is 100. That means my y is 100 over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the same thing, but for my y's. So I like to use what's given to me in the beginning. So I'm still going to use that same sine 47 over 14 equals, and now for my y, I'm going to do sine of 100 over the y that I'm looking for. Cross multiply, I get 14 sine 100 equals sine 47. Y sine 47, divide by sine 47, divide by sine 47. Oops, don't want the code. Divide by sine 47, and then we enter that into our calculator. So we get 14 sine of 100 divide by sine 47, and we get our y to be about 18.9. So y equals 18.9. And same thing for part B. Part B doesn't necessarily tell us what to find, so we'll just find z over here. For a quiz or test, I'll always tell you what to find, but if you're finding z, again, we're looking for something that has the same matching pair. So here I got that angle y and the side y right across from it. So I'm going to set it up using that first. I'm going to do sine of 88 over 70 equals now sine of 39 over the z I'm looking for. Cross multiply, we get 70 sine 39 equals z sine 88. Divide out your sine 88. And then just enter that into your calculator. So we get 70 sine 39 over sine 88. And we get 44.1. So 44.1 equals our z. And that's your answer.